Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about one of the things that many Project Sekai players think about, tiering. Now, what exactly is tiering? Tiering can be described as scoring high on a leaderboard of a specific event. Example, tier 50 in the event Inside Direction, which is currently running on the JP server. Now, I want to make myself as clear as possible. This is not a tiering guide. Do not try the methods I used as it can lead you to sleep problems, eating problems, to wrist pain and much more. I will also not talk about how to maximize the amount of points you can get during an event, as there are more videos out there that explain really well. So, let's start with the first event I tiered on. Ordinary yet special us, aka the Leonid World Link event. I tiered for Ichika's chapter, which was the last one I believe. Now, I didn't make the best decision when choosing the first event I tiered on, because World Link events are different from your average event in Project Sekai. World Link events have permanent cards which you can pull, and the event itself is separated into chapters on which you spend 2 to 3 days. So, a shorter period of time in which you can earn points for your character, unlike normal events where you have the span of 8 to 9 days of playing. Each character has their own tiering title as well. The event ran before the new tiering system was implemented. The new system lets you gather points in the span of 18 hours of non-stop playing, and then you have to take a 6-hour break before you can earn points again, I believe. I may be wrong since I have yet to tier with the new system, so take this information with a grain of salt, or be open to comment if I got it wrong. Now, how did those 3 days feel without the new system? I think one word summarizes my experience. Hell. It felt like hell. I missed Stardash for like 2 hours, and I even decided to stream my first time tiering on TikTok, a really bad idea. And I also decided to go solo, no team to help me. As to why did I go solo, I simply felt embarrassed to ask for help. I got into a Discord tiering server before the event even started and was thinking about asking for help, but I backed out the moment the event started. I'm still in that tiering server if you are curious, though I basically do nothing there. The thought process of someone taking their time to help me tier honestly made me feel guilty, especially since 4 people had to do that. I mentioned in my last video how I am a Romanian player, playing on the JP server, and my country doesn't have a lot of people who play Project Sekai in general, let alone the JP server. So essentially 4 people from most likely different countries and most likely different time zones would have to help me. That simply didn't sit right with me, so I said, fuck, I'm going solo. And that's exactly what I did. I did random co-op rooms where I chose Lost and Found over and over again. I had a lot of disbands, but I kept my patience and pushed through. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you think is the biggest enemy of tierers? Is it the competition itself? The bad internet? The lack of experience? The lack of preparation made for the event? If you answered any of this, you wouldn't be exactly wrong. These things do play a big factor, but the biggest enemy of tierers is sleep. How much did I sleep in 3 days of playing Project Sekai? The answer would be 6 hours, in the span of 3 days. I mostly use the technique of power naps, since that worked for me, but the more I played, the more I felt like it was hard for me to eat as well. I don't really know how to describe it, but I felt like after the first day my appetite was just gone. So basically those days I lived on random snacks I had in my house. That was 100% not healthy, and I highly encourage you to not do that. During the night, when I tried to keep myself awake, I would do small stretches, take quick trips to the bathroom to spray my face with cold water, or simply drink water after every song I played. A mistake I made was to constantly check my rank during those late night hours. When I saw that I dropped a rank, my heart would literally jump out of my chest, as I had a clear goal settled for each night to reach, and the further I fell, the further I was from my goal. As for wrist pain, I didn't really experience it that much. I could pretty much FC or AP lost and found on expert difficulty in every run. Another mistake I made was skipping end rush. I basically blacked out during the last 3 hours of the event, and from my goal of being on T1000 I ended up in T2000. But it didn't feel much of a loss. I was happy that it was over. Now, after that, you'd think I would never ever touch tearing again, right? Wrong. I teared on the event Colors of Pure Sense, aka ENA 6, in October 2025. It was a rush decision, honestly, but when I saw the leaks of the cards, I fell in love with them and I knew I had to tear in that event. To my luck, it was a normal event, and it didn't feel as bad as the World Link event. I didn't miss Start Dash, and during the first 20 hours I managed to get into T300, though I didn't aim that high, honestly. I once again aimed for T1000. This is, however, the tearing run where I had experienced wrist pain and I had to take a break from the game for about a week after the event ended so my hands would be able to heal. I could normally play for 14 to 20 hours without my hands starting to get tired. My wrists are pretty trained due to me practicing badminton in my free time. But tell me why were the most random side quests happening while I was trying to tear? I'm still in high school at the time of filming this and I had to study for like 5 tests while also having to tear. Trust me, I have absolutely no idea how I managed to pull high grades on those without more than 30 minutes of studying. I guess I have mastered the art of freestyle or whatever. But the most heartbreaking part was that during End Rush, once again, I had some work to do with my parents and I missed it. I ended up in T1500. I was mad for this, like really mad. But in the end, it is just a game and I got over it. T1500 was still impressive to me. I forgot to mention that I tried to tear for the Mizuki 6th event with boss songs and no energy. Yeah, it didn't went well at all. But I streamed that attempt and honestly, I had a lot of fun. I didn't really fuss over the rank I would end on or the cards. In fact, I didn't pull any of them. But it was honestly pretty nice seeing people in my chat saying, "Wait, what do you mean you're tearing with boss songs and no energy? Girl, are you insane?" I ended up in T50k and my thoughts on it? Don't try it. Tearing with no energy and boss songs feels like you're just sabotaging yourself. The best advice I can give you from what I went through with tearing is to not tear. But in all seriousness, don't be upset if you don't end up in the rank you want. It is just a game and even the fact that you reached that high is an achievement. So wear them proudly. Show the community the dedication you put into your run, and if you want to go at it for a second time, you'll know what awaits you and you'll be more prepared. And finally, for the end of it, enjoy the game, as that is the actual purpose of it. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, Yuki out.